Hello and welcome everyone to Motley Gaming. This is going to be the Gman Season 6 Div 5 and Div 4 recap. Joining me here is my co-host.
Hello. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're good. This is Ken, everyone. He had some issues with his headset, so we are finally back to the full broadcasting team, you could call it.
Party time.
Heck yeah. And let's just go ahead and jump into it. We've got Season 6 Div 5. We're going to be recapping both Weeks 2 and 3 for this video. So let's take a look at the results that we had. Starting in Div 5 Week 2, we had Is This a Furry Team? Our necromantic team. One of the two necromantic teams in the division, winning 2-1 over the Bayyork Bricklayers. That, I think, was a late add Lizardman team.
Yes. Yeah,
yes.
That's right.
Yes. So, looks like that was actually a fairly competitive game. Pretty even number of blocks against both teams. But the Lizards definitely got more removals. So, that's probably the story with that one.
Take a look at the statistics. I think there should be at least one dead. No, it says none sustained. I was looking at their roster real quickly, and anyway, we'll deal with it later. But
sure.
It looks weird.
Well, that was Week 2, so Week 3 might have the death for one of the teams.
You're right. I spoiled it.
Yeah. Oh well. We'll be getting to that in about 2-3 minutes. Then we have Mighty Reptiles tying Dead Game. So that's going to be the Lizardman team with the Croxagore, I believe, going up against our resident Khemri. Alright. And that looks like we had a lot of competitive games in the division for Week 2. At least the ones that weren't concedes.
That's a solid result for Khemri.
Yeah, they have such a hard time going early on. But then again, so do Lizardmen. But having been a Lizardman coach, I think Khemri is kind of the team that you want to run in early on. All those low armor value skeletons. And then next result in Week 2, we had Mad Stompers tying Nurgle. Yeah. Looks like another competitive match. Lots of blocks thrown. Mad Stompers were able to get 3 removals, 2 KOs and an injury. But good for...
That showing is Nurgle.
Yeah, good for Nurgle, honestly. Getting it going that early on. It's tough to be a Nurgle coach at the beginning.
Yeah, it's a waiting game.
It sure is. Alright. Chaos Monks, that was a concede victory for them, so that should help shoot their TV up. Ragged Princes also got a concede victory. Drop Dead Gorjuice put the 2-0 hurtin' on the Super High Elves, and the armor breaks. And, oh, how about that? An interception. That really... that tells the story. You don't see that every day.
No.
Yeah, it looks like my theory is that some of the more experienced coaches in the division were the ones that gravitated towards necromantic, and because it is such a good team as you develop it. That's just my theory.
No, it works for me. Makes sense.
Yeah. And then we've got Bane of the Living, the undead team, 2-0 getting the 2-0 win over the Slippin' Gits. And, yeah, looks like another just bash fest that the Undead team managed to pull out ahead on. Very, very nice. Moving on
And
to
something you'll something you'll enjoy. Unintelligible Noise picked up the MVP.
Yes, I look forward to seeing that player have a long and impressive career in this competition. Right, moving on to week 3. We had the new Lizardman team picking up a win over Chaos Dwarves. How about that?
That is a very good show.
Oh, looks like it was a concede victory. A bit unfortunate on that, I suppose, but Mad Stompers played his first 2 games, so hopefully that was just a scheduling snafu. I know sometimes it's hard to get everything set up, so
Yeah.
totally understandable if the game didn't manage to be played. Hopefully we'll see many more Chaos Dwarf matches going forward. Or at least, I never get tired of a dwarf match. I don't know about you.
I play dwarves in Div 3, so yeah, I enjoy a bit of self-loathing.
Indeed. Next matchup, we had the Mighty Reptiles putting the 2-1 beatdown on the Chaos Monks.
Nice.
Looks like an injured player got the MVP in that match. Let's take a quick look at Priest of Fire and hope that that wasn't just a miss next game. So, not too bad. Good thing it was not a permanent injury. And yeah, it looks like things are going pretty well for the Mighty Reptiles so far this season.
Yeah, if you can exercise a bit of self-control. Lizards are fairly strong starting out of the gates. As long as you're not facing some of the elves and rats.
Yeah, definitely. And as long as you can keep that core of the Sorai together, without picking up too many injuries on them, they could be pretty strong, pretty tough to deal with. Then we've got your pick for the win of the division. You've got the Ragged Princes going up against Is This a Furry Team, and they tied. Let's take a look at that matchup real quick. Oh, would have been nice if the Ragged Princes had picked up one more interception and one more expulsion. That would have been a really satisfying stat layout.
Yeah.
Yep. And, yeah, looks like that was just a matchup of the elves running away and the Necro chasing after them. 56 blocks to 19. And as with all elf teams, they managed to pull out the draw and sneak in a touchdown, all that fun stuff. It's so tough to play against wood elves if you don't have tackle.
Yep. Yeah, those catchers are beasts.
They sure are.
And looks like Fox picked up a movement.
Oh, nice.
That is the catcher that picked up the MVP.
Yeah, you've got your one-turn touchdown threat right there.
Yeah.
That's he's going to be tough to handle. He's going to be real tough to handle. And then we've got Drop Dead Gorgies. What was that?
Sorry. So do you go sidestep or sure feet on that player next?
Oh, I'd probably go... I'm not much of a Wood Elf coach. Do you get What's your allowance for catchers on that team?
Yeah, you can have 4 of them.
You can have 4. I would probably go Surefeet and just leave him off the pitch, and just use him as a one turn scoring threat, probably.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah. Do the same thing that the one and only Skaven team that I played in the Champions League. I got plus movement and then on a gutter runner, and it was no looking back. No looking back. Right. Then we've got my pick to win the division. We've got Drop Dead Gorgeous versus Dead Game. That's nice. Drop Dead got a level up on one of his werewolves, and and a level up on the Tomb Guardian. So not a horrible game for our Khemri coach. At least he gets that level up. And let's take a look at the stats in this one. Oh, looks like another pretty competitive match. I would think that the movement on the Necro team was probably the difference. Maybe just didn't let Khemri set up its offense and grind out the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely. But Drop Dead Gorgeous is sitting pretty in the division. Had some pretty good matches. I think he's got a perfect record. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Then we've got a nice 0-0 tie, the most entertaining kind of match between Bane of the Living, our undead team, and Innsmouth Inchworms, the Nurgle.
Yep. That's impressive for the Nurgle team.
It really is. You're not really expected to win most of your matches in your first season as a Nurgle team, so tying most of your matches is probably the next best thing, yeah?
Especially against low TV Undead. Undead is just really powerful at 1k.
It sure is. But they even managed to outbash the Undead team. 51 blocks to 35, 3 injuries. I mean, the Undead had 6 removals, but Nurgle had more injuries. So that's really impressive. Really quite impressive. And we had the Slippin' Kids versus Dead Pirate Roberts, the 4th. And Dead Pirate Roberts is a new team, correct?
That's the case, yeah.
Let me take a look at, so that's Undead.
No, looks like he has 2 spin games.
2 spin games? Sure. Okay. Good. But is new to the division, I mean. Alright. Because... Yes, because Dead Pirate Roberts, I think, took the place of one of our concede bye-week teams. So thanks for joining the division, even if it's a little bit late. That is Nitrogen Sonata. We really appreciate you joining. And good on you for getting the 1-1 tie versus the Slippin' Gits, our Lizardman team. And then finally, we've got the Preston Penguins, which I think is another replacement team.
Yep. Humans.
Coached by Lava Jackal, it looks like. And yeah, that's their very first match with the team. So good on you for getting the 2-0 win over a slightly more developed High Elf team. Nicely done. Alright. So that kind of wraps up the results. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the leaderboard for Div 5. And anything that jumps out to you, Ken?
To be honest, I'm just excited to see all the with new coaches. That's great.
Yeah, I'm excited about all these new coaches as well. It's always fun starting out a season as well because even the teams that have had a rough start still have a pretty decent chance of climbing the table. So hang in there, Robotko and Surgeon B. Like you've got plenty of time to climb the ladder and develop your teams. Let's see. So interestingly enough, to start with, we've got our two Necro teams, coached by Crowdog and the Nick Dude, at the top of the standings. Up there with Bane of the Living and Mighty Reptiles.
Yeah, if you look at the top 5 teams, 4 of them are regen.
Yeah, that's
not often the case at such low TV.
It really isn't. It usually does seem to take a while for the regen teams to get up there. The only team that I'd really kind of expect to start the season so strong would be the Bane of the Living Undead team, since they're so strong at 1K. But yeah, we've had some really impressive showings by some of the weaker starting teams. So well done on that, coaches, and keep up the good work. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at how each of the teams are shaping up. Starting with Dead Game, our Khemri team. Got a few level ups. Looks like he's got a niggle on a skeleton, but he also has a level up on a Tomb Guardian, which is good. Got guard there, and a level up on Smash Bros, the Blitzra. Anything surprising to you on this team?
The biggest surprise is not taking Mighty Blow first on a Tomb Guardian.
Sure.
It just takes so long to level them up. You need the Mighty Blow to get the ball rolling,
yeah,
so to speak. But something I do like, which not good, bad, or indifferent, just interesting to me, is that Throw Raw has Hail Mary Pass.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I could see that being effective around turn 7 or turn 15. Like just if he's having a tough time or trying to score like a 2-turn touchdown.
Yep.
Just making that work for him. I kind of like that. That's an interesting tactic, and it kind of opens up what that throw raw can do for you. So, yeah, very interesting. Bit of a unique take on it. Very cool. Just checking out the other injured skeleton, and it's just a miss next game, which is nice. I mean, skeletons are cheap, but especially early on, not having to spend money on new players is always nice.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think he's saving up for the reroll, and that's why he hasn't replaced the niggle yet.
Yeah, most likely. Then we've got, is this a furry team? And they're looking pretty strong. Anything of note in the team build so far that you're looking at?
No, he went for block on the ghoul and block on the werewolf, both solid standard choices. He doesn't have the second ghoul yet, but he also doesn't have a whole lot of but lots of SPP floating around on that team. I think they'll have a good time.
I think they will too. You've got that other werewolf Claw is OP. Looking to level up, hopefully within the next game or two, so that's going to be nice. How soon would you pick up your next ghoul, do you think?
Probably as soon as the werewolf and Conrad skill up.
Sure. Yeah.
Once Claw's OP has block, and then Conrad has either Mighty Blow or Guard, then I'd grab the second ghoul.
Yeah, you can really start establishing those lines that kind of defend your AV7 ghouls once you've got some level ups on those players. So looking strong, and he's 2-1-0, I believe, in the league. So yeah, one of those strong-looking Necro teams so far. Then moving on to the Mighty Reptiles, they've done pretty decent for themselves. Got a few of the high-strength pieces inching ever closer to their first level ups. Fulton the Croxagores at 5 SPP, and you've got 2 Sorai at 4 SPP. Anything to keep an eye out for with this team?
Adam Banks is awesome.
Yeah, he's got the Blodge Skink.
Keep feeding him touchdowns.
Yep. That's what you want to see on a Skink. He's going to be tough to get down. Real tough to get down.
Yeah. After that, to be honest, I would put some effort into getting some Saurus touchdowns. I know it's extra work, but it's worth it long run.
It sure is. It's so hard to get them, that first level up. And then once they've got block, it does seem to come quite a bit quicker. Right, so that Lizardman team is slowly making its way forward. And then we've got Mad Stompers. Where are they in the division at the moment? Oh yeah, they're 1-1-1, good for 6th place, tied for 6th place in the Div. Let's see how they're doing. He's got a bunch of blank Chaos Dwarves, a few with some SPP. I could have sworn that he had a level up on one of his Chaos Dwarves. I'm going to take a quick look and see if one of them got killed. Oh, there was the concede loss when they weren't able to make that. Maybe I'm just fooling myself. Alright, so anything of note with this team?
No, fairly standard. They just really need to start getting some casualties on those blockers.
They sure do.
Or with the blockers.
Hopefully an MVP or 2 on them as well. Looks like the Bull Centaurs have hogged those so far.
Which there are worse places the MVP could go.
That's very true. Like the Hobgoblins, for example. Moving on to the Chaos Monks. Ooh. Anything of note with this team, Ken?
They've taken a few hits.
Yes. Yes, they have.
Luckily, that one beast, the block beastman, is only missed next game. But they're developing nice. He's getting a good spread of SPP across the team. Just needs to start picking up block.
Yeah, he sure has. What do you think of taking that plus Agi on the Chaos Warrior? Do you like it? Making him a vampire?
I've heard people go against that, but no, I think it's the perfect decision.
Yeah, he'll be able to pretty much score touchdowns almost at will.
Yeah.
Hopefully. That's the idea,
Get
at least.
break tackle as a skill.
Yeah. Very nice. Very, very nice. Looking pretty good there. let's take a look at Ragged Princes. They've had a bit of a tough start to the season so far, but anything you've noticed with them?
Other than being jerk elves, that guard lineman's gold.
Yeah, he sure is. He can make them pretty tough to handle.
I'm not sure what the coach's goals are, but he definitely needs to dump some of that treasury.
Oh, yes. He might be holding on to that, I suppose, to purchase another catcher, I'd imagine. At least that's what I would do. But yeah, if you are a newer coach, anything in Blood Bowl 2, anything above 150,000 in your treasury counts against your team value. So make sure to get your treasury down to 150,000. Oh, and he also does not have an apothecary or an extra reroll, so those might actually be good places to dump some of that treasury after all. Drop Dead Gorgeous, our 3-win team in the Div. Anything of note with this team?
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. We've got a dirty player, plus agility werewolf, mighty blow on a white, and a block werewolf. That's just great. And it looks like one of the flesh golems is a casualty away from getting his skill as well.
Yeah, a casualty, or you could even just feed him a touchdown if you know the Necro have a game that they're far enough ahead in, to where a dropped handoff.
Yeah, Noble Ned's getting his removals.
What was that?
Sorry, if Noble Ned the white is getting his removals, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You could even try pass.
For sure, for sure. That's yeah, this is going to be a scary team. That plus agi werewolf is going to be so tough to stop, and all he needs is a double on Mole, the other werewolf, to get mighty blow for this team to start getting really disgusting, really disgusting. All right. Moving on to Bane of the Living. They're looking pretty decent. Let me take a look at what they're another one of the 2-win, 1-draw club in Div 5. And anything of note with them?
That's disgusting. They have a block mummy.
Yeah, that's always nice to see your first level up on a mummy and you get doubles. How about that?
Yeah. 2 block ghouls. And the third ghoul's 1 SPP away from a block as well.
Yeah.
Or maybe wrestle to turn him into a ball hawk.
Yeah, going wrestle tackle or wrestle strip ball could be really good with that ghoul. Yeah, I generally on your undead teams, do you generally go for the ball hawk on the ghoul?
With undead, yes. Yeah, I like 2 block and 2 wrestle.
2 block, 2 wrestle. Yeah, I like that. The scary thing, the only scary thing about wrestle is if you do manage to get the knockdown on the ball carrier. It can be a bit rough when the other team inevitably puts the boot in on your ghoul in retaliation. Yeah.
But all that does is lower your TV, and then you're 2 touchdowns away from another wrestle goal.
Yep. That's why undead is so tough early on in the game. Then we've got Dead Pirate Roberts, one of our replacement players. Once again, thanks for joining us, Nitrogen Sonata. We really appreciate it. And looks like in these first 2 games, he's managed to get just one level up. Anything of note with this?
No, just keep playing. Good spread right now.
Yeah, got a lot of players in position to, get an MVP and a level up. 3 SPP on the zombie. Okay, that's interesting. What happened there? He got a touchdown with that. That is really impressive. Does he have a concede victory by any chance? Let me take a quick look. Oh, he got a couple of concede victories, so I bet that's where the touchdown... I think that to get him started, they fed him a couple of concede victories, which would make sense.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, so there's the touchdown on the zombie. Because I was going to say, quite impressive if that's what happened. I would want to see a replay of that. Alright. And then, anything of note on the slip and gets for you?
Oh, that poor Lizard team. At least they have 3 rerolls.
Yeah, that is nice. He's got a few players tantalizingly close to a level up, but no level up so far. So, just stick with it. I think he had a death on one of his tough guy skinks. So, I can't recall which skink it was at the beginning, but yeah, one of his skinks died. Which, with names like that,
okay.
Hopefully that skink went out in a blaze of glory. Alright, and then moving on, we've got the Super High Elves who've had a bit of a rough start to the season. Anything you've noticed with them so far?
It looks like he's getting a good start off with his linemen. There seems to be 2 schools of thought. 90% of people seem to want to go dodge across the board with their linemen for elves. And go with block as the primary skills. I'm curious to see where Robot Co is going to go with it.
Yeah, I'm curious as well. That block can turn you into a bit of a bashier elf team. The only problem with that is there are other teams built to bash with higher armor value that can seem to do a bit of a better job at it, and have access to strength skills and mighty blow and all that. So having the dodge on the lineman can give you the option to maneuver a bit better early on. But that being said, not a bad build out by any means, not at all.
Yeah,
right.
No, it's good.
Moving on to the Innsmouth Inchworms, our Nurgle team, who's had a few impressive draws against teams that you may not have expected. Looks like Tato Scone has taken a bit of a beating in some of these matches. Got a Pestigore that picked up an injury, just to miss next game, so that's not too bad. Minus agility on the Nurgle Warrior, but that's also not that big of a deal. You didn't pick up the Nurgle Warriors for their agility anyway. Would you still replace that Nurgle Warrior if you had the money?
If I had the money before he picked up any SPP, yes, I would. But the instant he has 2 SPP, I wouldn't get rid of him.
Yeah. I have to agree with you there. Most definitely. Okay, and getting to just about the end of the division, we've got the Bricklayers, another one of our wonderful replacement coaches. That's going to be Ilgoth, the coach. And looks like he's got a level up on a skink, and looks like he's going mostly Sorai or mostly skinks. What do you think of that?
He has 170k. He has to buy the next 2 Saurus, even before the team reroll. That's never going to cry.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, he could go for a mostly skink team. Probably not the most competitive, but that could be interesting. So this is kind of the crossroads for our coach here. I wouldn't necessarily recommend the build out that Ilgoth chose to go, but if you're going for a gimmick team and picking up 2 more skinks or whatever and just throwing a massive army of skinks at your opponent, there are strategies for that.
Dirty players.
Yeah. Yep. Alright, and then we've got the Preston Penguins. What do you think of this pretty fresh human team so far?
They really haven't picked up a whole lot, except that one catcher.
Yeah, block on the catcher. They've only
I'm not sure how I feel about...
Sorry, what was that?
I'm not sure how I feel about holding on to Nick Park, the negative agility blitzer, though.
Yeah, I'd probably boot him as soon as you can. He's got 50,000 in the bank, so replacement blitzer is only 40k away. So it's conceivable that, you know, after the next match, he'll be able to replace Nick Park.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, definitely agreed. Okay, so that kind of wraps up the look at each team, how they're developing. Let's take a look at the week ahead. Who do you like between the Bayerick Bricklayers and Drop Dead Gorgeous, Ken?
I don't like them, but I think Drop Dead Gorgeous is the favorite there.
Yeah, I have to agree that plus Edgy Werewolf is filthy, and I think Crow Dog is probably one of our more experienced coaches in the division, so I have to put that up. Have to pick Drop Dead Gorgeous as well. Then we've got Ragged Princes versus Bane of the Living. What's your pick there?
Ragged Princes.
Ragged Princes? Yeah, just hopping on that hype train. They do have the speed to get away from the Undead team.
Yeah, positioning and screening is going to be pretty key in that game.
Most definitely. Then we've got Chaos Monks versus Slip and Gits. Who do you like?
Have been putting in a pretty good show lately.
Yeah, they have. I'm
feeling it.
You're feeling the Slip and Gits?
For sure.
I think I have to go ahead and maybe pick against you on this one. I think the Chaos Monks might just get a few lucky knockouts or injuries. I think they pull away on this one. I think
it's the plus agility warrior, isn't it?
Yeah, I have to go with my heart, and that plus agility warrior has my heart. So go in there. Then we've got Mad Stompers versus Super High Elves. Who you got there?
If they play, it's going to go to Chaos Warriors, I think. Or, sorry, Chaos Dwarves.
Chaos Dwarves. Yeah, hopefully that was just misconnection on that one, and hopefully this match gets played this week. And then we've got Mighty Reptiles versus Preston Penguins. Who do you like in that matchup?
Uh, both of them have odd builds. Penguins is going to be missing one of their blitzers, and the Mighty Reptiles is missing 2 Saurus at the moment. I think the Reptiles are going to edge out the Penguins, though.
Yeah, I think
those 2 Saurus.
Yeah, the Mighty Reptiles. That's the 6 Sauri, 1 Croxagore team.
You're right. I was thinking of the Bricklayers.
Right. So also with the Blotch Skink. So I think I have to, despite the little mix-up, I think we're both still probably picking the Mighty Reptiles in this one. That extra strength.
Yeah.
It's just so hard for humans to handle, especially, unskilled, no Dauntless, no guard yet on the humans.
And no tackle to deal with that skink.
Yeah, that's going to be rough. We've got, Is This a Furry Team versus Dead Pirate Roberts, and who do you like in that one?
I think Is This a Furry Team has a pretty good shot in this case.
Yeah, I mean...
So Necro over Undead.
Necro over Undead. Yeah, I think both of our Necro coaches have had some pretty good showing so far, so I can't really pick against them until I've seen something that tells me otherwise. And finally, we've got Dead Game versus Innsmouth Inchworms. And who do you like between Khemri and Nurgle?
This is going to be a 0-0 draw.
I think of any of the games that are most likely to be a 0-0 draw, this is it. Definitely. However...
Maybe even -1. Versus -1.
They just move backwards into their own end zone. They're so slow.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I'll probably pick Dead Game for this one. But that being said, the Nurgle team has had some showings and some results against teams that you wouldn't necessarily expect it to. So I'm picking Khemri, but I'm more than willing to be surprised in this one. Alright, so that wraps up Div 5. Let's take a look at Div 4. And let's go ahead and take a brief look at the leaderboard. Looks like a pretty competitive leaderboard here. We've got... let's see, I believe we've still got a bye-week team in there.
Yep.
And then Team Group Hug came in a little late. So that is going to be a Nurgle team coached by Easy Kyle. Easy Kyle. So thanks for joining us for Season 6 of Gman, Easy Kyle. Then we've also got Onkish City Watch, and that's coached by Luck Lazy. So thank you as well for joining us, Luck Lazy. Appreciate you being a part of the division. Thanks for coming in late. We really appreciate that. And
just a quick note. The top 6 teams all have at least one admin victory.
Sure. Okay, so that this division has had quite a few bye weeks and such, so I suppose we can't really get a great sense of what is going to be going on, like how the division is going to shape up. I know I was looking at this earlier, and Dangerous Lizards are other perfect record so far. They've got 2 of their wins from concession, so that doesn't really give us a great idea of how this team stacks up, necessarily.
Yeah, I need to make one correction. For this Necro team, doesn't have an admin game at all. I was wrong on that part.
Oh, Kurotora. Yeah, so having played 3 games with a pretty good record, Antikas Karius has done pretty well for himself so far. Nicely done, nicely done. Alright, so let's take a look at what has happened over the past 2 weeks. We had 7 Circles with an admin victory over Villains Do It Best. So, a bit unfortunate. And yeah, looks like Villains Do It Best unfortunately had to drop from the division. So, unfortunate, but these things happen. Then we had Erwindor's Chance, our resident Nurgle team, against the Dark Star Second Liners, our High TV Dark Elf team, and unsurprisingly, I suppose, a 2-0 victory for the Dark Elves. Then, after that, we had No Doubt and Failure with the 2-0 victory over Kurotora. No Doubt and Failure looking pretty good. Oh, with the MVP on a Chaos Dwarf blocker, that's probably where you'd choose to have it, I think.
Every time.
Every time. And just looks like they pretty successfully outbashed the Necro team. 20 armor breaks to 8. That'll get you the win almost every time.
Although if you look at successful blocks, they were just about paired up. It came right down to breaks.
Yeah, it sure did. That's where that, if No Doubt and Failure managed to get most of the blocks on his armor value 9, that's where it can be, and maybe mitigate the chances for the werewolves to block. That's probably where the armor value, or the armor break difference came from. Yeah, so nicely done on that. Then we've got Society of Dead Poets over Halloween Haddock, and I believe Halloween Haddock had to drop because that's 2 concessions in a row from them. And yes, indeed, it does look like they're out of the division. Dangerous Lizards got the 2-0 concession victory over the Cowardly Crew, our bye-week team. And then we've got, finally getting to the real games, we've got Pempleforder Drinkair with the 2-1 victory over the Wood Elves. So, the armor value 7 humans versus the AV7 elves. Yeah, looks like that was a fairly competitive game. Well done on that to the Norse coach. And then Star Rats 5, losing 1-2 to Rockomotive Git Stompers. And, oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Looks like the MVP went to the loner lineman. I wonder if... No, it doesn't look like our Norse coach maybe didn't have enough money to purchase the lineman afterwards, so a bit unfortunate on that.
Oh no, he bought him.
Oh, he did? Did the player just die?
It's listed. Their position 11.
Let's see. Oh, I got
Sturla
confused about.
Hafton
Oh, yep, that's true. I tried clicking on the player on the MVP screen, and it wouldn't take me to it. Maybe that's a bit of a glitch by Cyanide. Okay, yeah, so he did hire him. Very nice, very nice. And then, yeah, it looks like just the Rats took quite a bit of a bashing in that match. Rough time for them. Alright, and then we've got Ankish moving on to day 3, or week 3. We had Ankish City Watch versus Society of Dead Poets. That was a concede victory. So, perhaps it's just our newest coach not being able to get that first match in. Hopefully they'll be able to do that in the future.
Yeah, I think they were only added on Monday or Tuesday night.
Okay.
So right before the rollover.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. So, you know, and once again, we really appreciate you, you coaches who are coming in late in the season, later on in the season. You do start at a bit of a disadvantage since you've got, you know, 3 losses or however many losses to start. So thanks for doing that. We appreciate you coming in with a bit of a handicap, and everyone just wants to play a lot of Blood Bowl, so having more people who make it so we have less concession weeks is really nice. So once again, thank you very much for being a part of that. Then we've got Kurotara, Necro versus Team Group Hug, Nurgle. Necro got the 2-0 victory. And that actually looks like a bit of a hard-fought match. It's just Necro managed to get 8 removals from 45 blocks.
Yeah, that'll help.
That will definitely help. I have to imagine Claw had something to do with that.
Yeah, just a bit.
And I'm excited to take a look at this werewolf that he's got there, because that is see what the second skill he picked up, because he is just blitzing up the SPP table.
I don't think it's going to slow down.
No, definitely not. Dark Star second liners are High TV Dark Elf versus Blue in the Face. And Dark Elf gets the 2-0 victory on that. Looks like they successfully managed to catch and bash the Wood Elf coach.
And look at what he's building himself with that lineman.
Oh, no kidding. He's got a ball hawk there. A cage diving ball hawk. That's exciting.
That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, that will be very fun to watch. I'm looking forward to it. Then we've got 7 circles with the 1-0 victory over Rockomotive Git Stompers. That's an impressive win for a Chaos team. It's always tough to go against Norse early on, and it's pretty impressive. And honestly, the stats kind of tell the story. It looks like Rockomotive Git Stompers were able to get a lot of blocking done, but the injuries all went the way. The injuries and removals all went the way of the Chaos team. So that armor value 7 really being a bit of a hamper there.
Yeah, it's the price you pay for having block across the board.
Unless you're dwarves.
I suppose then the price you pay is an extra 20 team value on every lineman.
Yeah, that is kind of the price you pay. Not having any cheap foulers and such. Had a high-scoring affair, 2-2 draw between Star Rats and Erwindor's Chance, so Nurgle holding its own and scoring
That
quite a bit.
That is impressive.
It sure is. Yeah, oh wow. We got
They
a
must
kill
have
in
had
the
a ton of
division.
removals.
What was that, sorry?
I didn't look at the stats page right away. 6 injuries? Yeah, they better have had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, 6 injuries and a kill. Is the kill included in the number of injuries?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, nicely done to our Nurgle team. That's what you got to do to Rats to have a chance to beat them. Then we've got Pempleforder Drink Air versus No Doubt and Failure. They had a stirring 0-0 draw. Kind of a disappointing lack of hurt that got put on both teams. Just 2 KOs for the Chaos Dwarves and an injury and a KO for the Norse team.
Maybe disappointing, but I think that might have been an interesting match to watch.
Sure. Those kind of bash-y matchups are very interesting. And I do always enjoy seeing a team like play tough defense. So that can get pretty dramatic. And then finally we had the Dangerous Lizards with their 2-0 concession victory over the Surrender Squad. So let's take a brief spin through some of these teams, see how they're developing, shall we? And to start with, we've got Society of Dead Poets. How are they looking to you, Ken?
That's looking really good. You've got the Dodge Throra, so there's going to be your Miracle Ball Carrier right there. A skilled Tomb Guardian after just a few games, and a couple of MVPs waiting for them to pick up Kaz.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has a Dirty Player Skeleton with enough money to buy himself up to 14 players.
Very nice. Yes. And what do you think of going guard on that Tomb Guardian first? Do you feel like that's kind of early reward and just takes him longer to skill up?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but I can see where what he's trying to do is set up the Blitz Ruz and the other Tomb Guardians blocks.
Yeah, and having a strength 5, big guy just standing around making it hard for the other team is always good.
Based on Palmu's Discord channel, I take it he exclusively plays Khemri, so he must have a plan.
Yeah. When all else fails, trust the coach that, plays that team.
Yeah.
All right, we've got Kurotora, and they're your pick to win the division. Is that correct?
Yes.
Cool. And they're doing pretty well for themselves so far. 2 wins and a loss.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Div 4 and Div 5 Gman are the places where you go to find plus edgy werewolves, apparently.
Yeah.
Besides that, how do you see them shaping up? Do you like it?
They're looking great. They've got the support white. They've got the killer white. Other werewolf is turning into an agility monster. I guess the only complaint I have is the ghoul isn't blodged yet.
Sure. but trying to go for the wins, I'd imagine sometimes it's just easier for him to go with that plus edgy werewolf. My goodness, that's Div 4 and Div 5 is the place to go for disgusting necromantic teams. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, very nicely done. Then we're moving on to Dark Star second liners. Our high TV Dark Elf team, and they've got 3 wins, so they're putting that high TV to use, it looks like. And how do you like their build so far?
It is working better for them than I expected.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what you're going to get when you have a Mighty Blow Blitzer and
Yeah, that Ballhawk has got to have probably made some pretty exciting plays. And on the Ballhawk, what do you think is the next skill you get there?
Sidestep.
Sidestep? Okay.
Sidestep or jump up.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, scary team. Tough to go against someone with a team with so many skills. My goodness. It's got to be tough to get any of these blodging monstrosities off the pitch.
Yeah. And one of the nice things about creating the lineman as a ball hawk is it frees you up to put block on both of your witches, because a player on the ground, but most teams build one wrestle witch.
Yeah, and it's always scary to have that armor value 7, wrestling the ball carrier. So, excuse me. That's really nice to be able to, maybe dedicating those witch elves to surfing or just getting more blocks in.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I really like seeing something new.
Yeah.
And to me, this is new.
Very nice. Then we've got 7 circles with 2 wins and a draw, and no block, no claw, no hope. I appreciate that in a very real way. What do you think of going Mighty Blow on his 2 Chaos Warriors first?
He's shooting for the stars.
Yeah, just skilling them up as fast as he can.
I think he is setting. I think Zacinge is setting himself up for maybe season 2. Or
I would agree with you there. Yeah, it's a bit tough, especially as this is a team with no block and only 2 rerolls. It's a bit scary for them, but yeah, I think just in terms of and he's getting results. He's got 2 wins and a draw. Let's see, were any of those concession victories?
I believe the VDIB game was.
VDIB was, but
walkover.
So, excluding that, he's got a win and a draw, which early on for a, unskilled chaos team, that's pretty decent. Very nicely done. Let's take a look at Erwindor's Chance, our Nurgle team, who have had for a chaotic team, have had a bit of a harder time going than some of our other, chaos-inspired teams. And what catches your eye with this team?
They have a very nice spread of TV, and they've got a couple nice skills. Mm-hmm. Getting guard on that Beast of Nurgle is great. That's going to help his Nurgle Warrior cadre out. Definitely. And the stand firm helps him keep things in place too. Yeah, there'll be... Sorry, go for it. I like that Killer Pestigore.
Yeah.
Staple for Nurgle. Start building your Rotter farm.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. He's moving along pretty well. And those Nurgle Warriors, he's got at least 2 SBP on each of them. So as soon as one gets an MVP, the development can really start in haste. So that's nice as well. Very, very good. So we had Arendor's chance. Let's take a look at No Doubt and Failure next. And let's see. So their record is 1-1-1. And what catches your eye about this team?
It's great development. He's picked out. He has specified a killer with his blockers. He's getting lots of support in, and his Bull Centaur are well on their way.
Oh, definitely. That break tackle on one, and I'd imagine probably turning the other into a ball carrier, maybe with sure hands. Do you think?
Really, it's up to Morbus how he wants to develop them. There's no real wrong answer at this point. He could throw break tackle on. He can do sure hands, straight up tackle or frenzy if he really wants to turn one of the Bull Centaur into a ball hawk.
Yeah. That's definitely exciting. I think this Chaos Dwarf coach probably knows what he's doing. So Halloween Haddock, I believe, has dropped from the division. So we're moving on to Dangerous Lizards. They've got a perfect record, but I think they've only had the opportunity to play one match so far. But that can be good for leveling, and he's got 2 levels on his. He's got 2 Sorai leveled up. So, anything of note with this team? Do you think?
It's great to have those Saurus blocked up.
It sure is.
Into getting touchdowns on the other naked Saurus, if you can't either a casualty or a touchdown. But I really try to focus on a touchdown. That dive tackle sidestep skink is going to be worth his weight in gold pretty soon once he starts to face other or blodged up teams.
Yeah, that'll be really nice, just kind of anchoring himself to a player and making life difficult for the opposing coach. That's great. Very, very nice. Then we've got Pempleforder Drinkair, one of our Norse coaches. He's doing pretty well. He's got 2 wins and a draw so far. And anything catch your eye with him?
Well, I mean, the Yeti has Claw Mighty Blow now.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
That's the first thing you want on every single Yeti. Other than that, it looks like a fairly standard team with normal development.
Yep.
Being some dirty players.
Yeah, definitely. And he's got an Ulfwerner who just needs 1 SPP to take on up to the next level. So that's nice. Those can be a bit of a... it can be slow going with those Ulfwerners. Very, very nice. And Star Rats having some of the issues that Skaven seems to have. And what do you think about his build so far?
Oh, man. I don't like horns on a lineman or on a line rat.
That's...
Oh, man.
Definitely an interesting choice. To be fair, it looks pretty cool. The character model with horns looks nice.
Looks awesome. Yeah. Line rats die so quickly, but I don't know, 2 heads or guard on them.
Yeah, I would. Knowing that you can get a that he could have had guard instead of that, it just kind of hurts a little bit. But other than that, he's got a 1-turn threat with the plus movement on his gutter runner. That's exciting. All he needs is sprint, and you don't even need a you don't even need to chain push anything to get him all the way to the end zone in one turn. So that's exciting. What's the next thing that you would probably get on this team? Just try and fill out your gutter runner slots, do you think?
Yeah. He's not going to be able to afford enough linemen in one go for quite some time to fill out the numbers. I would just buy a couple. Actually, I would buy a thrower. Gutters.
Yeah. That could be quite good, especially if he's wanting to get those quick touchdowns with the plus movement gutter runner. Picking it up with the thrower and heaving it to him could be quite good. Okay. Like that. Then we've got our other Norse team, the Rockomotive Git Stompers, with 2 wins and 1 loss. And yeah, they're one of our higher teams in the division who don't actually have a concession victory to their name, so that's kind of nice to see. And what catches your eye with this team, Ken?
Still doesn't have a Yeti.
Still doesn't have a Yeti. I mean, it can be tough because there are a lot of things that you want to kind of protect your team with if you're Norse. So getting enough rerolls, getting that apothecary up. But yeah, would the Yeti be your next pickup for them?
Honestly, I don't know if this coach is, based on the way he has his players spread out on that list, I don't think he's ever going to be picking up a Yeti. Okay. And that's fine. The Yeti's unreliable. I just know that I love the Yeti.
I love the Yeti too, but I do think with it being so difficult to rely on that just relying on all the players having block and making life miserable for the opposing coach can be quite good.
Yeah.
Armor value doesn't...
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, what was that?
No. Curious to see where they go, how they do with it.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed when playing Norse is the other team, your armor value 7 doesn't matter if you can just keep the other team on the ground most of the game.
Yeah, limit them to that one blitz.
Yep. And then we're looking at Killerich's Blue in the Face. This Wood Elf team had a bit of a rough start to the season, but it looks like they're developing pretty decently. What do you think, Ken?
Yeah, they're slowly moving along. I caught the Reb RL Masters and Juniors final.
Yeah.
Where Killerich played against Manus, and I have to say, that game went. I think Killerich has a pretty good idea of how to coach Wood Elves. I'm excited to see where these guys go.
Yeah. I am as well, and that's already got a plus movement on that War Dancer. He's going to be tough to catch. Alright, then we've got 2 concession teams. We've got Villains Do It Best, who had to drop. So moving on to Team Group Hug. This is Easy Kyle, one of our replacement coaches. And pretty basic Nurgle that we're looking at. Anything of note? Do you think?
He's got an uphill battle.
He sure does.
Beast.
I don't necessarily dislike not having the Beast to start out, though, and having 4 Nurgle Warriors and 4 Pestigors. Having all those positionals available to you makes you look a lot more like regular Chaos, I suppose.
Yeah.
And leveling like these positionals are really what make your team get strong fast.
Yeah. The nicest thing about it is it gets a lot of rotters off your team, so you're minimizing the amount of decay that you have to worry about.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of. It's nice not to have those rotters all over the pitch. Most definitely. And then finally, we've got Onkish City Watch, our new Norse team, and looks like a pretty strong starting build to me. What do you think, Ken?
Yep. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
There's not much else to add to it.
Nope. Just got to get that apothecary up as soon as possible, and they'll be off to the races. So, yeah. Luck Lazy and Easy Kyle, once again, thank you so much for joining the competition. We really appreciate it. Let's take a look at our Week 4 matchups. And what do you know? To start things off, we've got our two new coaches to the division. We've got Onkish City Watch versus Team Group Hug. Who do you like in that?
With nothing to go off whatsoever, I'm going to say Norse. Onkish City Watch.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. Block is the king of skills, and Onkish City Watch has a lot of block.
Yeah.
Next, we've got Blue in the Face versus Society of Dead Poets. So Kemri versus Wood Elf. What do you think, Ken?
Oh. I think the Woodies are going to take it, but I really want to see them take it in the face, too.
Yeah, I kind of want to see a bunch of Woodies get punched. But I think, we might just end up having both. We might see a lot of dead Wood Elves, and they might still win, because that's kind of what Wood Elves do. So I think I got to pick Blue in the Face as well, but I kind of hope to see a few deaths in there. So, Palmu, coach of Society of Dead Poets. If you could oblige us with that, that'd be much appreciated.
I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah, and then we've got Rockamotive Git Stompers versus, so that's Norse versus Kurotora, our Necro team. And who do you like in that, Ken?
This should be a really good match. Necro's going to edge it, but Rockamotive Git Stompers, I think, are going to put up a good show.
Yeah.
A good fight.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be one of the matches to watch this week. You've got two good teams, both well-built, going up against each other. Next, we've got Star Rats versus Dark Star Second Liners. And who do you like in that one?
I just need to take a quick look at the team value difference between those two.
I think it's pretty substantial.
Yeah, the Rats actually might get away with some bullshit. Just based on inducements.
Yeah, they're one of the
Dark Star's the easy favorite, but the Rats can really make use of their inducements.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting to see. So they'll get an extra 150,000 in loner players, but that's still easily gets them the,
I think 350k.
Yeah.
Anyway,
wizard plus some other stuff. So that's gonna that'll be interesting. Rats can really take advantage of inducements. Then we've got Pemple Forter Drinkair versus Seven Circles, the Chaos team. And who do you like in that?
I think Norse have it. I think Pemple Forter Drinkair is going to take this one. Seven Circles should put up a fight.
Definitely.
For all teams.
And then we've got Dangerous Lizards versus Urwindor's Chance. Who do you like in that?
I love lizards, but I'm gonna go on the outside here and give Nurgle the edge.
Sure. I could see that. I think that I've gotta stick with the lizards myself. I think that Blodgeskink is gonna be tough to get down for our Nurgle coach, unless of course
Dangerous Lizards has a sidestepper.
Yeah,
he has the 2 Bloxsaurus and a sidestepper.
Yeah, that's right. I'm mixing up my Lizardman teams. My apologies. Yeah, okay, in that case, I could see that Beast of Nurgle being really tough to handle, and yeah, I could see the Mighty Blow doing some work as well on our Nurgle team. I think you've picked it right then. Yeah, I think Nurgle's got the edge just by a little bit. And then finally, to round things out, we've got the concession victory to our Chaos Dwarf team, No Doubt in Failure, over the Surrender Squad. So that's perfect. That kind of wraps everything up for Div 4. Just any general feelings about the division? Anything to keep an eye on for this week?
Yeah, those 2 middle games, the Norse versus Necro, and then the Rats versus the Dark Elves. I think those are going to be 2 really exciting matches, and I hope to catch at least one of them.
Yeah, same. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. These divisions are pretty competitive, and we're looking forward to seeing how they all shake out. Alright, I think that's everything for us in this recap video, so thanks so much for joining me, Ken. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Alright. Thank you for tuning in to Motley Gaming. This has been the Season 6 Div 4 and 5 recap for the Gman Cup. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.